Well, we just got back from a really nice warm vacation near Miami, and coming back
warmer than it is outside
2 inches
here
of
today.
snow is not real fun.
No, not in April.
But we celebrated my birthday there last week, and we went to an Italian restaurant, and for a little birthday surprise, they brought me out a piece of tiramisu with a birthday candle, and it actually tasted really good. I mean, I like the tiramisu that we make, and I was really impressed that it tasted as good as it did. So that was
almost as good as
almost
yours.
as good. So that was a big plus. Although we did learn a new technique for finishing the tiramisu. Instead of putting the cocoa on top, you just leave it, you know, and then just drizzle chocolate. So it made a really nice presentation.
Yeah, chocolate syrup type of thing.
Yeah, so we might do that.
Yeah.
And then another fun thing that we did when we were in Florida was we drove 4 hours to visit your sister Trish and Pear.
Right.
And we hadn't seen them actually for a few years.
It's been about 4 or 5 years probably since we were up there.
So it was,
down there.
It's been a long
up
time.
from Miami, down from Wisconsin.
Yeah. So it was great seeing them and spending just, you know, a few hours with them and reminiscing and laughing and
yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah. So anyway, so now we are back to work
and enjoying
doing some catering.
some fun things here.
And our next what we're going to do today is make something that our kids really like. And you know how we talk about how they like to eat the chocolate chip cookie dough when we make that?
Yeah.
So I found a recipe, and we're going to make chocolate chip cookie dough bites, and these are edible with no eggs in them.
Correct.
So you just make them, and they're good to go. Right. And I'm really sure that I'm going to have to add these to my menu.
We could do that.
And start maybe selling them.
Right.
So anyway,
Good idea.
so we are going to start out with 1.5 cups. I'm going to just take this out because it's packed.
Okay.
So 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar, and 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter. And typically when we do our cookies, we use the mixer, but we're going to cream this by hand, which I'm going to let you do.
And you soften this butter somewhat.
Right, so I have it softened, and you can leave your butter out all day if you're not going to be making it for a few hours. Otherwise, just to soften it a little bit, you can soften it in the microwave, which was what I did.
That's what you did.
So
just mix this around.
Just keep mixing. It's a lot different. You haven't had to mix anything by hand for a long time.
Oh, going to use the automatic stuff as
Right.
our normal routine, so this is going to be different. And I want to go on record saying that all this we're going through here right now, I am not a big fan of the cookie dough. I like my cookie dough baked. So this won't be for me. This will be for the rest of the rest of the crew.
Probably
I'm getting messy, keeping up my
prefer
reputation again.
use this if you wish. And I actually like cookie dough better than the finished product,
Yeah, and I like the baked cookies.
our kids do as well.
So how is this? Just keep going till
just keep going till it is all mixed. I'm going to just keep moving these.
I'm going to push it against
Yeah.
the wall of the bowl. That works out very well.
This is how my mother always made all of her cookies.
Did she? By hand?
By hand.
Never mixed it.
There were a couple recipes, you know, the white sugar cookies that I make. That was, you know, one of the few recipes that she actually made that wasn't made in her mixer.
Okay.
So
how's that? Is that good?
that looks excellent.
Okay.
So to that.
Should I spread that out a little bit or just leave it right?
Nope, that's good. So to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of water, tap water, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
Mix that now?
Mix that until all mixed up.
Okay.
So it was a real shock getting back from vacation when we had 90 degrees or 80 degrees every day, sitting just kind of
relaxing, on the beach.
recouping, getting prepared for another busy week of catering next week.
Yeah. But it's good to get away, kind of refresh, relax. There. I think I got that pretty well
Then to
mixed.
that, we are going to add 2 cups of flour. It's already pre-sifted.
Okay, I'm going to reach across here.
3/4 of a cup of chopped walnuts, and it says that can be optional, but I really like walnuts. And then 3/4 of a cup of mini chocolate chips.
Okay.
And then you just mix all of those up.
I'm going to really try not to get flour all over the table.
Put all of our things together here. And the minis will be, you know, kind of nice because you can put a lot of minis in one bite rather than having the larger chocolate chips. So it should be
easier to get them more uniformly spread out.
And if this is too dry, then we're just going to add a little bit more water to it.
It looks like it could use a little.
Just,
We're going
just keep stirring
to mix
it
this
and
until
mix
it's
it.
mixed, and then we'll check the consistency
Yep.
and see if it needs more water.
And by the time you really stir that up well, it should be great.
And start getting packable or rollable or whatever you want to call it.
I think that's going to be fine.
I think it will. Looks like it's starting to pack and hold together. A little bit of powder there, a little bit of flour. How's that looking?
That's looking good. Just finish getting the rest of the flour,
I need to get that
stir it up, and then
center
it's
pulled
all
out.
set to go. You can
looking
just
pretty well.
use that. There's some
It's looking good.
more you can get off of the knife.
Mm-hmm.
That out of the
Okay,
way.
now you're going to do what with the
Okay,
pan?
then we are going to use a cookie sheet. Now I have actually, then if you want to just stir that one more time just to make sure that it's all ready for packing. I have made, in the past couple of weeks, I made some cookie dough balls and I didn't put them on the sheet first.
Right, what
When I put them in my container, they kind of all stuck together. But if you're hungry enough, as Matthew and Alana were a few times, you know, you just work until you get those
yes, you just
those
start,
apart,
yep,
okay?
you start beating with it or taking a knife and pulling
And
them
just
apart.
pull them apart. So this way, if you make them first and
Okay.
then put them on a cookie sheet,
Let them freeze.
let them freeze. We're gonna put them in the freezer afterwards, then
Okay.
they're gonna be all set up. So you can either take, we put this in your hand, either take a scoop, the smallest scoop that we have, or you can take a tablespoon.
And I think these
think
are
that's too
just
big?
a little too large.
Then you can just take a little bit out.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's not exactly a bite,
There's
but,
no, right.
but it works, okay?
It's more than a bite.
Yeah, so it might be 2 bites. That was probably the discussion. That's one's a little bit smaller there.
Yeah, I
So
think that's
as you
a
can
nice
see,
size.
you can make them however large you want or small, and depending on what your kids like. If you don't want them to have to go to the freezer a lot of times, then you just make them larger, you know.
Yeah,
So.
right. This is cool.
So I'm
This is
going to
easy.
get the cookie dough balls out of the freezer that I had made last week. Or I guess that was actually before
It was the week
Easter.
before we went on vacation. And we told our kids to help themselves, and
Right. So I
they
put
took our word
them
for it.
just in a plastic container like this, so you can have it, cover comes off easily. So I ended up taking all these apart. They were all stuck together, kind of like in a big glob, but I took them apart. So after you freeze these, they're going to be, you know, frozen. Put them in your container or like a Ziploc plastic resealable bag to keep them fresh.
Right.
And that's all you have to do. So from now on, when you want something that your kids really enjoy, which is cookie dough, like ours, we're going to start making more recipes, different kinds. We can make other kinds.
Yeah, different flavors, and I think this is going to be something that we might just add to our menu.
Yeah. Okay. This one isn't quite done
Oh, I
there.
didn't pack that
Yeah.
together enough?
Our cowboy cookies would be a great one. And with the cowboy cookies, all we have to do is add the oatmeal, and it's basically
Yeah.
the same.
I still like them baked.
So Gary is going to continue rolling these chocolate chip cookie dough bites, and that could take him another half hour or so, or less.
This is called rolling the dough, not rolling in the dough.
That's
I am
correct.
not rolling in dough, I'm just rolling
You're just
the dough.
rolling the dough.
That's it.
So I hope you have enjoyed this segment of Cooking with Ruth and Gary, and your kids are going to love it if you start making them some chocolate chip cookie dough bites.
That's right.
So until next time, happy cooking. Should we do
Cookie dough
bites?
bites. Well, cookie, yeah, this really bites.
Cookie dough bites.
This really bites, because I thought they were balls.
Or we could talk about the discussion between bites and balls.
Is it bites or balls? Bites or
Bites
balls?
or balls.
Bites or balls? Ay, ay,
Okay,
ay.
we
It's all about size. A ball
Oh,
is
for
this
Pete's
big. Oh, it
sakes.
is. Balls are this big. Bites are like mini bites, like little Oreos.
I think we
Oreo
need
pieces.
to stop talking.
I'll stop. I don't have a mic on anyway. They can't hear me.
Oh, yeah, they can.
No, I don't know.
For sure.
Okay.